Listen guys, it's been 3 years, and we haven't been able to create a game that actually holds together. I think it's about time to... Guys, come in here. Look. It's working. It's actually working. Let me see that. This does work. We've actually done it. All right. Let me just clean up some of the code, and then I'll remove the debug room, and then... No! Are you crazy? You know how sensitive this game is. One touch and the whole thing might get ruined. Gentlemen, you are looking at our final product. Wow! And that is how Final Fantasy VII was born. How's it going, everybody? My name is Death Unites Us. Welcome to another Final Fantasy VII tutorial video. Today, we're going to talk about glitches and oddities. Because the programmers used a lot of different strange coding mechanisms, they had a lot of bugs during the game's development that they couldn't iron out. Once they finally got a version that held together pretty well, they decided to just publish it the way it was, in fears that toying around with it might break it. This is why the debug room is still in the game, and that's also why there's so many bugs and glitches in the game that we don't even have time to discuss them all. Most of the glitches in the game are just small things due to shitty programming. Like, for example, if you try to pick up the Kajata materia when you have full materia in your inventory, it'll disappear and you'll lose it forever. In addition, there are just a crazy amount of glitches you can do just by inserting code into the game, like flying around in an invisible high wind, taking control of different overworld sprites, or inserting Sephiroth into the game and fighting a ghost ship, which does this. But today we're only going to be talking about the glitches that are already coded into the game, and we'll just be talking about some of the more interesting ones. But before we talk about glitches, we're going to talk about some oddities in the game. Things that aren't necessarily glitches, but just some strange things that a lot of casual players don't know about. Alright, let's get this thing started. The secret cow level. So a lot of people have heard about the secret cow level in Diablo. It was first a rumor, and then in Diablo 2 is actually inserted into the game as a joke. But most people have no idea that there's actually a secret cow level in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, seriously, I didn't believe it either. If you're playing the new Steam version of the game, you can access the secret cow level using the save crystal. You must be at the end of the game in the North Crater where the characters split up for the first time. Take the left path, and then when the characters split up for the second time, drop the save crystal and... Aries' ghost. Aries' ghost. So the death of Aries pretty much shocked everybody playing this game for the first time casually. It's one of the most talked about events in gaming history. Along with a big event comes a lot of rumors, including an insane amount of people saying that there were ways to get Aries back into the game. All these rumors turned out to be false, and nobody ever found a way to get Aries back into the game until just recently when a few speedrunners found a way to skip the death scene completely. But there is a way to see Aries after her death. If you use the key to Sector 5 to return to Midgar and return to Aries' church, you can see a glimpse of Aries tending to her flowers before disappearing. Once she has disappeared, she is gone forever. It's a global event that only triggers once. However, if you rush past the despawn point before the screen loads, you can actually prevent her from disappearing. What's even more curious is that the little girl's text changes depending on if Aries is on the screen or not. Lucky Sevens. I decided I should probably talk about Lucky Sevens after my crazy dance party in the Emerald video. For those of you who don't know, if any character's HP falls to 7,777, a special Easter egg will pop up saying all lucky 7s, and your character will do 63 attacks doing 7,777 damage each. This may or may not be connected to the fact that there's a lot of allusions to the number 7 in the game. It's pretty difficult to get 7,777 HP, but some people have found ways to actually get a character to the exact maximum of 7,777, causing all lucky 7s to trigger every battle. An easy way to trigger lucky 7s is to do exactly what I did in the Emerald video. Although it doesn't kill Emerald, it is pretty fun to watch. After any battle where lucky 7s is triggered, the character will be left with 1 HP. The dating mechanics. A lot of games nowadays take advantage of player choice. They let the player make decisions that alter the actual canon of the game's story. There were games before Final Fantasy VII that took advantage of this, but Final Fantasy VII was the first one I played and possibly one of the most popular games back then to do this. During the game, the party goes to the Golden Saucer, a giant chocobo-themed theme park, and during the night, Aries will come into Cloud's room and ask him on a date. The two go to a theater where they get to be the stars of a show, which ends up being pretty funny if you screw it up on purpose, and ride on the gondola together. Since Aries is the semi-obvious love interest of the game, most people get this date scene during their first playthrough. However, the game gives the player the choice to be mean or nice to Aries throughout the game, and if the player is particularly mean to Aries, Tifa will show up instead. The date with Tifa is pretty similar, although a little more awkward because Tifa doesn't know how to show her feelings up to this point. Most people who have played through the game a couple times have seen these two dates, but what a lot of people don't know is that if you're mean to both Aries and Tifa, you'll get a date with Yuffie instead. The same type of things happen, you go to the theater, maybe this time I'll fall in love with the king and kill the dragon with the powers of love. What in the... But I must say, the best part about the date is the gondola ride, where Yuffie gives Cloud a kiss and he shows absolutely no emotion at all. Now I thought this was it, but it turns out that if you say all the right things at all the right times, you can have a date with one other person in the party. Wow. I can't say I saw this one coming. When you go to the theater, the guy mistakes you as a couple, then you leave without doing the play at all. On the gondola, Barrett's theme plays instead of the regular date music. The two talk about girls, and Barrett accuses Cloud of having a crush on Marlene. Isn't Cloud 21 and Marlene is 4? Then Barrett gets mad and shoots at the fireworks. Shoots at fireworks. Also, I should mention that you can ride the gondola with whoever you want if you come to the Gold Saucer after the date scene, which can lead to some pretty funny scenarios. The Red Submarine. Okay, so this totally blew my mind. You know the red submarine down at the bottom of the ocean that Emerald Weapon sometimes hangs out by? You can get that red submarine. All you have to do is lose the really easy submarine minigame during the story. After you lose, you don't receive the normal blue submarine. To get a submarine, you have to go back to Junon and go through the door that the dog is usually blocking. You go through a whole side mission and abduct the red submarine. Then you have the red submarine for the whole rest of the game. Aries' death scene. So I've been thinking about making an entire video completely based on the Aries death scene and what it meant for gaming back then. But for now, let's just talk about how terrible the actual FMV video is. I find it funny that a video that scarred us all as children is actually flawed with an unbelievable amount of mistakes. To begin with, when you first see Aries, she is facing the stairs with her back to the railing, but when Sephiroth comes down, they both have their back to the stairs. And then when the video ends, they're facing the stairs again. When you first see the floor, it's white and black tile, but later in the video, it's all one color, and once the video ends, it looks completely different. When Sephiroth comes down from above, he's barehanded, yet when he pulls out the sword, he's suddenly wearing gloves. When Cloud first picks up Aries, her head is to the right, but when he puts her in the lake, her head is now to his left. It's also kind of strange that Cloud can stand in the lake, which is obviously really shallow, but Aries sinks down into the depths below. And lastly, during the video, Aries loses the ribbon out of her hair, but after the video, the ribbon is still there. The chest in Calm. So there's this mysterious locked chest in Calm that I've always wanted to know how to open. Turns out, there's no way to open it. This chest is unopenable. There's nothing in it. The creators were originally going to put the Titan materia in this chest, but then later decided to move it to the later parts of the game. So they decided to just leave the locked chest and give you no way to open it. Alright, so that's it for Oddities. Now let's talk about some glitches. The magic defense bug. Let's start off with a bug that absolutely blew my mind. You know all those pieces of armor that increase your magic defense? They don't. They just don't. They don't work. What cracks me up though is that it's so obvious that it doesn't work. When you equip a piece of armor that increases your magic defense, you can go to the status screen and see that it didn't actually increase your magic defense. It was right there and none of us ever noticed it. This glitch was fixed in the new Steam version though. The darkness bug. Sure, darkness works for us, but as for enemies, there's absolutely no reason to give them darkness. It does not decrease their accuracy. Now this isn't really that big of a deal since there isn't that many ways to actually inflict darkness, but this does make the item ink absolutely completely useless. The Quadra Magic Ultima bug. So remember in my materia combinations video when I talked about combining magic materia with Quadra Magic, HP Absorb, and MP Absorb? Well, be careful because if you use a combination of two Ultima Materias and Quadra Magic with HP Absorb or MP Absorb against an enemy with multiple limbs like Emerald Weapon or Hojo, this happens. The Regen bug. Since the PS1 has a pretty cool ability to retain memory even when you open the lid, you can exploit the spell Regen by opening the lid during a battle. Everyone will stop attacking, but Regen will keep healing you until you have full HP. Then just close the lid and continue the battle. The W item glitch. Okay, so I know I've talked about the W item glitch like 100 times, but it's probably the most important glitch you need to know if you're going to play Final Fantasy VII a lot. Basically, there's a materia in the game called W item where you're allowed to use 2 items instead of 1 in one turn. However, because of the way the materia was coded, selecting one item and then canceling out the second item will duplicate the first item. In addition, if you pick the first item and then cancel out of the menu completely, you'll lose that first item. There's also a lot of different ways to exploit this glitch to duplicate just about anything in the game using different stealing tactics, morphing tactics, and etc. Some people have speculated that the programmers put the W item glitch in the game on purpose, in order to test things in the game and get a lot of items quickly. But I don't think anyone really knows for sure. I think it was just another accident due to their strange coding mechanisms. The Gelnika Rude AI glitch. So this one's kinda simple but also pretty funny. Upon arriving on the Gelnika sunken ship, you'll fight Rude and Reno. During the battle, if Rude uses anything other than his shoulder tackle attack, he'll stop attacking for the rest of the fight. The Adamantaimai cure glitch. So down on the beach near Wutai, you can fight an enemy called Adamantaimai. Down on the beach near Wutai, you can fight an enemy called Adamantaimai. Because of a really weird glitch in his AI, if he has Protect and Shell before his first turn, he'll try to use the move Cure, but he doesn't actually have Cure, so the game flips out. On certain versions of the game, you'll actually get a readable error on the screen, but on the Steam version, the game just crashes. The Vehicles glitch. So this one's really funny and anyone can do it. Basically all you have to do is park your chocobo right next to the submarine and then try to get back on your chocobo. The submarine gets like absorbed under the chocobo. On the PS1 version some weird graphical errors will happen, but on the Steam version these seem to have been fixed. What will happen though is if you get off your chocobo you'll be in the submarine inside the ground. If you get out of the submarine and try to get back in, you'll get stuck. What's even more entertaining is if you try to get in the Highwind from any part of the map, you'll magically teleport to the submarine. The Vincent Mug glitch. It's really hard to say because like the G at the end of mug and then the G in the front of glitch, it's like mug glitch. The Vincent Mug glitch. What's up, mug glitches? Due to a bug, if Vincent is using the short barrel, Winchester, long barrel R, sniper CR, or death penalty, and he uses mug, the animation for the next attack will be skipped. This was found to be really useful by speedrunners because you can use a summon and skip the entire summon animation. What's also funny is you can win battles without the enemies actually disappearing. I broke Red XIII. So when you first arrive at Costa Del Sol, if you stand in front of Red XIII before he can leave the screen, this happens. The Raid on Midgar glitch. Guys, I can't even barely talk about this glitch. You have to understand, this is my favorite game, okay? Knowing that my favorite game is this broken... Alright, you know, at the end of the game, the whole raid on Midgar, you have to jump off of the high wind, fly into Midgar, fight a bunch of bad guys, fight the Turks again, fight the Proud Clod, and then beat the big boss fight with Hojo? You can skip that entire part on any version of Final Fantasy VII. And I know what you're thinking, it's probably some big convoluted thing where you have to set up a bunch of things and do the right thing at the right time and then you get to skip it. You want to see how convoluted it is? That's it. That's all you have to do. If you can do this, you can skip the entire raid on Midgar. This is how it works. Final Fantasy VII deals with its cutscenes in a very strange way. The developers decided to actually put Cloud in cutscenes, but just have him be invisible. So for example, when Cloud is dreaming about some part later in the game, you're actually in that area. You're just invisible and you can't move. However, during the scene in the raid on Midgar where Reeve calls Hojo, Cloud can actually move. So if you hold down right and run, you'll actually trigger the point where the Hojo battle starts. Cloud is invisible, but everything will play out like normal. You'll fight Hojo, and then you'll be at the part where the Sister Ray shoots, and you will have skipped the entire raid on Midgar. Now I don't actually recommend doing this unless you're speedrunning the game, because you're gonna miss out on Barrett's ultimate weapon, the W item materia, and a bunch of other goodies. The Infinite Elixir glitch. Now obviously you can just get infinite elixirs by using the W item glitch. But before you get the W item materia, you can still get infinite elixirs in the Great Glacier. In one of the caves there's an elixir. Now the way the game works with picking up items is that Cloud first interacts with the item, and then the text box appears and Cloud becomes immovable. Some items will register into your inventory at that point, other items will register into your inventory after the text box is cancelled. Either way, the item doesn't actually disappear until the text box goes away. In this particular circumstance, the item registers into your inventory before the text box disappears, and for whatever reason, during this one text box, Cloud is allowed to move. So you can pick up the item, and without cancelling out the text box, leave the cave. You'll still get the elixir, but if you re-enter the cave, the elixir will still be on the ground. Then you can just rinse and repeat. The Master Command and Support Materia glitch. So there's certain commands and certain support materias that aren't supposed to mix. For example, 4x cut is not supposed to work with added cut. However, using the Master Command materia, you can actually override some of these blocks. Equipping both 4x cut and Master Command with added cut overrides the block and allows that 5th hit after 4x cut. Since Master Command includes the item command, you can also use this to use an item with added cut, which can actually turn out pretty bad if you use healing items. Another thing you can do is put MP absorb or HP absorb on Master Command and you can get some pretty funny results. Like if you put slash all with Master Command combined with HP absorb, you'll absorb HP when you slash all. The Sneak Attack Revive glitch. This glitch is kinda silly, but basically if you use Sneak Attack to revive your characters, their ATB gauge will never fill up, making them pretty much useless. The Elixir Cover glitch. The cover materia is supposed to be used to cover a character when they're getting attacked. However, because of a coding error, your character will actually cover an elixir too. The Save Point glitch. This glitch doesn't really have any use, but it's still kind of funny. If you load up a game and run away from the save point before the screen is done loading, you actually retain the ability to use your PHS and save. This means you could save in the middle of the screen if you wanted, instead of saving at the save point. Probably the funniest use of this is at the Golden Saucer. If you were to load a save point and then use the save point glitch, you could save without actually having to pay the GP. The Save Crystal glitch. This glitch is extremely popular and no one really understands why or how it works. Basically, when you use the save crystal in the North Crater, there's a very small chance that you will then not be able to leave the crater, permanently destroying your save file. The most common area is where the characters first split up, but this glitch has been reported to happen at any point in the North Crater. My advice to you is to always save in a different spot when you first place the save crystal. So that's it for glitches and oddities in Final Fantasy VII, but before I go, I kinda want to talk to you guys heart to heart for a moment. I'm just gonna kinda go unscripted here, so bear that in mind. As you may have noticed, we have over 1,800 videos on our channel, and I know you might be thinking we probably make a good amount of money on our videos. Well, it turns out we've actually never made a single cent off of YouTube. The reason for this is something that happened with us and Google years ago. Basically, when we first monetized our channel, one of our fans really wanted to help us out and ended up clicking our links a bunch of times. Google thought we told him to and blocked us from making money off of YouTube. When it first happened, I thought no big deal because I had proof from the fan that he apologized for doing it, and I even had the Google Analytics page with his IP. So I sent all of the proof off to Google and got an email back saying that our monetization block had not been removed. For a while it really troubled us, but in the end we decided that it was really a blessing in disguise. See, at that point, FFVIII Productions was more of a hobby for us. We had our daily lives and then we came back and made videos in our spare time. Any money that we did make off of donations or some of the events we held usually went to charity. FFVIII Productions was more of a way for us to just share our love for video games and make people smile. It wasn't really about making money for us. However, things kinda changed last year. Both Mike and I ran into a lot of money issues that year and really haven't recovered since then. Now we're kind of in this everlong struggle where we could either work all day or work on FFVIII Productions. If we work all day, we make money, which we need. And if we work on FFVIII Productions, we don't make money. And it's kind of hard to choose FFVIII Productions at that point. Still, we've kept our promise to our fans and tried to upload a video every single day. However, about a month ago, Mike and I made a decision. We realized that FFVIII Productions really isn't going to be able to continue the way it is if we don't start making money off of it. Simply because we can't support our families putting a lot of time into something that doesn't actually make money. So we researched for a while, trying to find a way that we could make money and also keep our fans happy. Eventually, we decided to go with Patreon.com. The thing we like about Patreon is even though it's a monthly fee, you can pay whatever you want. So if you only have $1 a month to give, it still helps us immensely. But what we liked even more is that we can reward our fans for giving us money. For example, this video was actually a reward off of our Patreon page. In addition to big arcing rewards, each person who donates gets rewards depending on how much they donate. For example, all of you fans who have been asking for certain Final Fantasy VII videos can get the Final Fantasy VII video you've dreamed of if you donate $10 a month. And anybody who donates at least $1 will be entered into our Patron Exclusive Club and get access to sneak peeks, exclusives, and even complete exclusive videos that won't be accessible on YouTube. Now, I thought about this for a long time and didn't really want to make a whole big deal out of it in a video, but I'm gonna be really honest, we really do need the help. If I'm gonna continue to put in all the time it takes to put together these Final Fantasy VII tutorial videos, I need to know that I'm gonna be able to support my family while doing it. So from the bottom of our hearts, we please ask you, please consider donating if you're a long-running fan of this series and you want to see it continue. If enough people can jump on the bandwagon even at $1 a month, Mike and I can turn this into our day job and you'll start seeing these Final Fantasy tutorial videos weekly. Plus I have a lot of other big projects that I'd love to work on, but just simply can't because I don't have the time. So thank you so much just for considering to donate. And if you do donate, I'll be in contact right away to give you your reward. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time.